Hallo zusammen! In this video we're going to talk about the nominative case, which is used with the subject of the sentence, and personal pronouns, which are pronouns that refer to people and things. In English, those would be like I, he, she, it, we, etc. And you'll notice if you've watched any of my other videos that we don't have adjectives here, because adjectives just don't attach themselves to a personal pronoun. So that luckily eliminates a little bit of work for us. All we have to consider is the person or thing. We don't also need to consider the adjective at all. So to start, this is pointing to me. I am from the United States. I is going to be ich. Ich komme aus den USA. When you use this, ich is not going to be capitalized if it appears in the middle of the sentence. Okay? Then we have you are reading the book. And you'll see here I have a note, informel, informal. That's because there are two types of you in German. Well, really three, I guess. But the first is going to be informal, and that is going to be du. You're going to use this with people you have an informal or very familiar relationship with. So you would use those with friends, family, classmates, children that you meet. But then we have you formal, and that is actually going to be Sie. You are relaxed. Sie sind entspannt. Sie is always going to be capitalized as a sign of respect, and you'll use that with people you have a more formal or distant relationship with. So people like your boss, your professors, strangers, the server at the restaurant, that kind of thing. It's a sign of respect. You'll also use that if there's multiple people. So, for example, professors often use Sie when they're talking to the entire class because they have a formal relationship with their students. You should also, if someone is using Sie, you should use Sie. If someone is using du, you should use du. It's considered rude to mismatch pronouns, so don't do that. Then we have here a child is pointing at multiple children. Are y'all confused? Hopefully not. Or you could say you guys, or yous, or yins. But in German, there's one word for that, and that is going to be ihr. Seid ihr verwirrt? And then finally, we have we. I'm trying to show here. We live in Austria, is that flag. And we is going to be wir. Wir wohnen in Österreich. Okay, so now I'm going to erase these since you've mastered them. And then we're going to go on to the next slide where we have more fun with pronouns. There's a lot of pronouns in German. Okay. So, on the last slide we talked about first person pronouns and second person pronouns. Now we're going to talk about third person pronouns. To start, he says hi. Masculine, singular is going to be Er. Er sagt Hallo. Then we have she is named Marie. She is going to be sie. Now, that looks a lot like sie as in you formal. The difference is that this is not always capitalized, and the verb ending ends with a te, whereas sie, you formal, ends with an an. Next, we have das Kind. The child plays video games. Now, das Kind is actually going to turn into S. A lot of people tend to think of S as it, but it's not really. It refers to the gender of the word das Kind. So we're not calling this child an it. We're just saying we don't have a word like that in English. It's just a way to refer to a neuter noun. And then finally, we have the women, that's plural, speak or are speaking German. This is also going to be sie. So you can see that sie gets used a lot, and this is going to be differentiated by the fact that it's not always capitalized, but it does have this an ending. So it's a good idea to remember how to keep these different uses of sie straight, because it can get a little confusing at first. Okay, so we've done those, and now we're going to go on, and I have a couple of examples for you. I don't have an example for every pronoun for you, just a few, and you're going to take a look at them and practice filling in the pronoun. So I'll step to the side so you can see that picture. Remember to keep in mind their gender and who they're referring to. So pause the video for a second. And now I have the answers for you. Sie wohnt in Berlin. Sie, because it was a woman. She lives in Berlin. Then, ich bin müde. I am tired. They, because there was multiple volleyball players, they play volleyball. Sie spielen Volleyball. And then finally, kommt aus Polen. Because it was he, masculine singular, he is from Poland. Okay, those were all the personal pronouns. Hope you had a good time watching and learning how to use them.